I have been playing current format Yu-Gi-Oh! You heard right. Mark it in your calendars. October 2022. Your boy is back. Kinda. I just wanted to see what Master Duel was all about. I was like, this game seems pretty cool. It's the official Yu-Gi-Oh! App game. I want to check it out, even though I don't understand how to play current. So let me see if I could just have some fun with it. And I did. I started gathering gems and buying packs and dismantling cards and generating cards to make a deck, and I built Lightsworn and I got myself up to gold. For those who haven't played Master Duel, this is what the ranking system looks like. You start as a rookie and you work your way up. I got myself up to gold with Lightsworn, definitely taking some losses in there to some current crazy decks and maybe decks that aren't even that current but still good enough from the past few years. I'm not sure. I haven't played since like 2013, 2014, so I'm not sure when some of these decks came out. I've seen Link Monsters, Pendulum Monsters, crazy things, a bunch of different things, and I don't know about any of it. So I'm like, wow, Lightsworn, 3 JD, 3 Honest, 3 Charge, 3 Recharge, Necro, all the good stuff. All the good stuff. Pots of Avarice, Maxi, all this stuff. I'm just like, alright, I could play all this stuff in here. This is going to be busted. But it could only get you so far, I think. And it got me somewhat far, but I want to see if I could get to that diamond status, that platinum and the diamond status. So far, I'm somewhat close because I've been practicing Duelists. I've been understanding what all this, yes, this current format Yu-Gi-Oh! Is all about. I heard the word at YCS Hartford. I heard the words Despia going around a couple times. I was like, okay, that's something I'm going to store back here because I'm never going to use that information. And then it kept popping up on Instagram and stuff, people saying, oh yes, Despia is a good deck. On YouTube, oh, Despia is a good deck. I'm like, what is this? So I looked into it, and it turns out, I don't know if it's the best deck. I have no idea. I was watching tier list videos, and it turns out there are like 25 decks that are playable right now. But this deck looked pretty good. I started reading some of the cards, and after watching some tutorials and stuff on how to run it, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to give it a shot. I heard advice from people saying if you want to play current format, you just have to pick a deck, learn all the cards by practice. I think practice is the best teacher. I've said that for a long time. I heard that when I was a young kid, some of the best advice I've ever heard. And just practice, practice, practice. You'll learn what your cards do. As you play them more, you'll understand how to use them better. And in doing that, you'll be exposed to a lot of other cards that your opponent's playing. And this is what I put together. Nothing crazy. Just seemed like some really good cards. Basically everything the deck wants. Extra deck's not done, but that don't matter. But yeah, to anyone who doesn't understand what this deck does, and yes, I could explain what the deck does because I know how to play it now. Not saying I'm going to take this anywhere or try anything with it, but I am going to say that maybe I bought almost the whole deck on TCG Player. This card, or you know what? Let's just get into a game real quick. Here I am, Poke Rapper, level 12. I'll Rabbit. Let's jump into this game. And I want to pause a couple times throughout this to try to explain the fact that I really don't have too much of a clue what's going on my opponent's side of things, but I can tell you what's going on with this deck. From my understanding, there are going to be misplays. I do misplay in Go format, I do misplay in Edison format. I try never to, but I definitely do. But make no mistake, there are definite misplays in this video, most of which I'm still quite ignorant to. From my understanding so far of current Yu-Gi-Oh! With this deck, you want to go first, even though you're down a card. That doesn't really matter. You want to get your combo off because it is just super important to get your combo off. And if your opponent doesn't have any hand traps or any disruption, you're in a really good spot. Vice versa, your opponent starts popping off. If they go first, you don't have any hand traps, you're in trouble. Hand traps are important. Maxi is banned in real life right now. in TCG. I think it's legal in the OCG, but it's legal in this game. So I was like, alright, all these decks special summon a million times, and then they can't deck you out because you're thinking, alright, if they special summon a million times, Tony, then they could just deck you out, but eventually you will draw into your Ash Blossom. Yes, a new card that I know what it does. Thank you very much. And that'll stop their combo, most likely. So, Maxi's really good in Ash Blossom. Those are the two cards I'm using as hand traps in this, and a Mercurier. And basically, from what I've seen, you want to just get Owlbear. I think they call him a Luber, but I'm going to call him Owlbear because I think that's fancy. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are fancy, right? So, you want to get Owlbear out either by summoning him or using Branded Opening to special summon him, or if they chain Maxi, you could just get it to your hand and then normal summon him, and then your turn's pretty much done. But if they don't have any hand traps, you get your Owlbear out, you use Branded Fusion, you get Lubellion, use his effect, you're using Despian Tragedy and Ad Libitum, and then you're getting Mirror Jade, and you're banishing your Owlbear, and you're sending your Albion to the graveyard, and you're setting your red card, Brandon Red, and then next turn, if they don't Lightning Storm, you're basically, whenever they commit to the field or at some point during their combo to disrupt them, you're going to Brandon Red, you're going to get rid of your Mirror Jade, and you're going to add that nice Tragedy back to your hand and use that, and Ad Libitum, to make, Guardian Chimera, I think it is, the big guy. Are we able to... Oh, we are, right? Wow, this is a really good app. Guardian Chimera, which is just the ultimate plus because you draw 2 cards, you pop one of their cards, you get your Mirror Jade back, and I'm pretty sure you get to add a card to your hand with Despian Tragedy. And then you get another Owlbear, and then you do the entire thing all over again. So you pretty much win. And this is not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you set a back row, pass. This is not... This is just a different kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't like it as much, but I'm a little burnt out on Edison format. I think my friend Scully said it the best. He said back in the day, and even up until the point that Edison started getting extremely popular, there were so few tournaments held that there was really no best deck, and now we're starting to see the format kind of tear off, and it seems like Value Turbo and Blackwings are the most dominant deck, and I just don't want to play against that all the time. I like the diversity. I don't like that it's becoming so refined, and I'm a little burnt out on it, and I've been falling more in love with Go format and the diversity in there, but I can't stand Pot of Greed and Delinquent Duo. I think there should be a Go format where Pot of Greed isn't legal, and you should only be allowed to side deck Delinquent Duo if you're allowed to play it, even though that's not really how Yu-Gi-Oh! Works, but I think that'd be very healthy for that format. And of course, BLS and Graceful are good cards and such, but I don't think those are as bannable as Pot of Greed. But after what we're gonna watch here, Pot of Greed doesn't look so hot next to some of these cards, even though that sounds ridiculous because it's just inherent +1. So here we go. My opponent goes first, and they're playing a Trickstar Candina. I have this playing at regular speed, but believe me, I am reading all these cards as my opponent's playing them because I have no clue what any of them do. I still don't know what any of them do, if I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't open any hand traps, so I am just watching them go and hoping that they don't put a million negate monsters, omni-negates, I think the kids call them. I'm hoping they don't put a bunch of those on the field, and I don't know what this deck's capable of, so I just let them go. And I think to myself, I have Allure. Still repping Allure. That's great. You could play 2 Allures, which I think is really good. Super Poly is just unbelievable. I drew a card. I think I just drew the Super Poly because they played a card that lets me draw a card, which is fantastic, even though I'm sure that's fine for them. And they're still playing a bunch of stuff, and I'm reading. If it's special summon, I take damage. They can special summon a link monster if this is destroyed. Not threatening, basically. Alright, so they end. Okay, so this is not very threatening to me. You can reveal this card in your hand, special summon it, return a monster to the hand. Yeah, this doesn't even interrupt what I'm doing. Maybe the graveyard stuff does, so I'm probably reading graveyard stuff at this point, but I'm looking at my hand like if they don't have a hand trap, this is just busting right now. So, some damage. Whatever the hell this is, some damage. I'm just going to go right for my Albaz. Going to pitch ad libitum. They maxi. No prob. No problem. I'm getting their link monster off the field, which is all the work they put in to me. And please feel free to type in the comment section all the misplays here, because maybe I easily could have done something else right off the rip, but I feel like clearing their board was pretty good. And I'm using a link monster and an Albaz to get exactly what I need, which is Mirror Jade. Doesn't really make sense here to lure after, right? That's kind of dumb. Probably always a lure first, but I got a little excited and I was like, I want their monster off the field. So Mirror Jade, send Albion. I don't even know if that is a threat at all, that thing, but I want it out of there. I want Albion in the graveyard. I'm going to set these cards. I know they can't Lightning Storm because they have a field spell, so they control a card. But set my Brandon in red. And now I'm looking pretty good, I think. I didn't realize that Allure thing until now. That's like simple stuff. That's not current Yu-Gi-Oh! Mistake. That's just like inherent flawed mental thinking, I guess. Not a good formula. Draw cards first, because those are random. Search cards after. Even though we didn't have search cards, still make your play based off of what you have and what you're able to get. And Allure is just a blind card. And I'm able to tell you all this stuff right now and not tell you what my opponent's doing, because I really have no clue what they're doing. But they're doing the link summoning, which I still don't understand 100%, to be honest. It's been explained to me, and I've watched a video months and months ago and done a tutorial or whatever, but I'm like, I'm not link summoning, so I just have to figure out how to interrupt their stuff in natural Yu-Gi-Oh! Player mindset. Hopefully just weaves me through that, and so far it has, because this deck is just stick to your combo, and at some point, if you open Maxi, that's fantastic. If they don't open any hand traps and you can do all the stuff you gotta do, you pretty much win. Vice versa, if they do all their stuff and you don't open a hand trap, they pretty much win. But if you don't open a Maxi, if you only have an Ash Blossom, you kind of want to wait until your opponent's about to do something that's really going to mess you up, even though I don't fully understand what each card is capable of in terms of how much it could mess me up. So it's a little tricky, but most of the time I feel like you could just play it on their first card, but maybe that's a really wrong way to think, because if they use their normal summon and you're like, alright, I'm going to Ash Blossom their search, then that probably will shut it down, but they could also still pop off like crazy, so you have to be careful doing that. Don't take any of my advice, by the way. No clue what I'm doing. Just Alabear, do the combo. I figured some more stuff out besides the combo. I've had to really think about what my opponent's doing and read all my cards a bunch of times and be like, alright, this is a good play right now. And I've won a handful of games by actually utilizing a couple decent things. But again, now I'm looking at my opponent's field at this point. They did a bunch of stuff. This does some damage, and it's unaffected by card effects if it points to no monster, so I just have to get it to point to a monster, so just put something in front of it, I guess, or just run it over, I guess. So I'm like, alright, that's what they've put in front of me. Now I just have to deal with that. I branded Fuse. I make a Sweet Albion. He's going to let me fuse again by banishing stuff from the hand, field, or graveyard, which is just insane. They max C now, which is kind of interesting. They didn't do it on the branded fusion. But at this point, I'm going pretty deep. I have so many good cards, and I'm pretty sure I could just win the game right here. So I'm just going to go for it. So I make Lubellion. They draw a card. Lubellion's effect. Pitch that. Fusion summon again by sending cards from wherever, just about, back to wherever. Make something else. They're drawing cards. I use this thing that I always forget what it does, even after playing like 50 games with this deck. I still don't remember. Fusion summon a monster. You could add Fallen Albaz to your deck or whatever mentions it to your hand, and anything that includes fusion summoning a monster can't be negated. It doesn't seem like super broken, but you still play one, I guess. Seemed nice enough to throw one in there. I don't even know if I had to do this. This seems like a little unnecessary because I could just run over that thing, but maybe I want to pop that monster, so I could definitely go for a game. So they're drawing cards. I'm getting all these different card effects. Branded Loss gets me to... This mentions Fallen of Albaz? Oh, so this is perfect. Okay, so clearly I did that on purpose, right? This lets me add a Fallen of Albaz card or anything that mentions it. This card mentions it, and this is basically an effect veiler for anything as long as you control a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz, which this guy does. This one does too. This one does not. So, I draw a card off of it. Speak of the Devil. There is Fallen of Albaz. I pop that back row. I use Mirror Jade. Send an Albion. I target that. I think I'm just sending the Albion just to send. He's going to use whatever that card in his hand does, but I read it and I was like, that seems like it's going to disrupt me. So let me read what that does. You could reveal this card in your hand and target a Trickstar monster you control. Special summon this card, return that to your hand. That seems pretty bad. You can send a fusion monster from banish a monster on the field. Oh yeah, this doesn't have an effect anymore because I used my effect, so or I put a monster in front of him. So I would just banish him and attack for 81. I think that would be 33, 66. That's not how math is. 55. Oh yeah, 88, I think. But I can't attack with that thing because I used something, I think. Alright, so more confusion, but super poly, attack for game. We did it. Wow, that's awesome. So there you go. That's how you play modern Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to go back and watch this and not include in the video where I understood why my opponent was at 82 and I had 3,000. And 25 is 55 and 33 is 88, but that Chimera couldn't attack for some reason. Anyway, let's play a game. Let's do it right now, live for everybody. Let's just do it. I'll show you guys what I actually mean. Because I'm babbling, but I feel like it'd be more fun if you actually watched your boy. So here we go. Playing Take a Swim, dude. Stay going first. I feel like I go first a lot in this game, which is just fantastic. Even though I don't mind going second, I'm just more afraid. I'm just like, please let me have a hand trap. Now this is just insane. If they have a hand trap, then it's a little bad, but of course I'm going to summon this first. I'm not going to risk a lure or be greedy or anything like that. I will use the effect. I will not negate my own effect. And they're not doing anything, so that tells me they probably don't have anything to do, which is so good. And now this is how our little beautiful combo works. Gotta send a Fallen of Albaz and a Tragedy for a Lubellian. Now we'll use both. I will discard one of the Elplers. And I will activate this bad boy too. Now in my head, honestly, we win. Unless they have Lightning Storm. And that's just awful. There's just no reason to think that way on turn 1 of the game. But the board that I'm going to have at the end of this is so good that I just have such a hard time. You know what? I'm going to put in defense mode so if they Lightning Storm, it's not even going to kill me. That's, wow, the realizations, right? I mean, this is just ridiculous. And now, I could use my own effect. Do I need to do that with Albion? To send Albion? See, this is live right now. This is real. I don't know what I'm doing. I have my branded in red already. So, I get Tragedy back. I have Ad Libitum. And I could make that. I don't need to use Mirror Jade's effect to banish Alibear and send Albion to set branded in red because I have branded in red already. So I could just set it, get this back to my hand, fusion summon, but then I don't get Mirror Jade's I want to try to use it twice, right? I'm going to be a little greedy. I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to use Mirror Jade's effect. I'm going to try to use Mirror Jade's effect and then also use the branded in red. If I don't get to use it twice, then it is what it is, I guess. Oh, I haven't been recording any. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so here we go. Turn 1. We have an Ash Blossom, a remove from play anything, and a card that lets me just completely destroy my opponent and draw cards and then bring back the card that removes anything. So I feel pretty good. This is the first game. There are no redos. If I'm getting my ass whooped, I'll get it whooped. My opponent goes right to battle. No cards played. Oh, what is this? What's this? At the end of the battle phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can make your opponent banish cards from their hand or from their field face down so they control the same number of cards as you do. If you control no cards, you can activate this from your hand. That is unbelievably good. Yeah, we might have to go take 2 and get rid of this footage. No, just kidding. At the end of the battle phase. Alright, I think I'm gonna activate this. It makes sense to banish my own card because I'm gonna lose it anyway to this. This is a disgustingly good card. So I'm gonna send my Albion, and that's gonna help us get a branded fusion next turn. I'm not going to chain anything. We're going minus. We're losing everything. I will remove that thing. You can make your opponent banish cards from their field face down so they control. Even my back row? Oh my gosh, that is such a good card. Wow, forget about Lightning Storm, dude. Evenly matched. I gotta get rid of them all right now. That's awful. Oh, I don't? It's just monsters? Ooh, maybe it counts that back row as an actual card. Interesting. Interessante. Alright, so now you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard and target fusion monster you control. If this card's normal summon or flip face up, you can add an invocation from your hand. That seems like a pretty good card. Do I negate that? Do I want them to have that? Yeah, I don't want them to have that. This could be a mistake. I don't know. Seems like Invocation's pretty good. Tell you the truth, I don't know what that does. Do they have something to negate that? They could chain? They didn't chain book? That's the first time anyone's played evenly matched against me. He just went straight to battle phase. I thought the game was over. Tell you the truth. Looks like some sort of Link summon is happening. I have never seen this card before. So let's read. Alright, if another monster, Magistus, you could target one of those monsters, equip this card to it. While this card's equipped to it, you can add a monster from your deck to your hand. Alright, they don't have one. So we're good. They could continue. I feel like a lot is coming. Many things, alright. Fusion summon. Ooh, a Shed Doll. I remember Shed Dolls. Is there anything I could do right now? See, I misplayed. Because I could... Oh, no, I didn't misplay. That's a lie. If I play Branded in red, I could get back my Tragedy. My hand or field. And then I could do Tragedy and Ad Libitum to get Lubellion. Then I could discard my Allure and make Mirror Jade again and banish his monster. So I think maybe we let him do what he's got to do and then play this card. I don't think it's the right time to interrupt yet. I'm gonna let him do what he's got to do. I think he's got to use cards from his hand or field, so he's got to go a little minus, right? He gets rid of 2 cards. I want to read what this does. This is a flip effect monster. That is a construct. I remember that being a pretty good card. Unless that didn't come out and I just haven't... Okay, that's doing something in the graveyard too. If you guys watched the first part of this video and enjoyed it, 3 cards in the graveyard, banish them. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, we got a chain to that. If this card special summon, you need to add a Shed Doll card from your deck. You could send a card from your deck to your graveyard. Okay, now is the time we want to use this, I think. Because he is targeting that and we don't want that to go away. So he's going to get a card from his deck to his hand. He's going to banish these cards. The banishing effect is not a huge deal. I think we do want to special summon a monster, right? Oh, that's the only thing we could special summon? That's all we have? We can't do anything else? This needs... Oh, it needs a Fallen of Albaz. And I already said that I would. What a friggin' mistake, dude. Wow. I already said I would, so I guess I will. And it's not even that bad, because we're going to get both of these effects, I think. Do I have something to get back with, Let's put them right here, because I'm pretty sure they can't put something there if I have this here. I don't know how much more they could do, honestly. What could they really... What else can they do? That's going to banish... Alright, Albion's gone. He banished that. That's going to search a card. I'm sure the first part of this video when I was explaining the replay was good, but that replay came from what is happening right now. So... Alright, let's just get a bunch of cards. They're getting a card from their deck to their graveyard. They already attacked this turn, though, so I don't know how much... I don't really know what they could really do. We have an Allure. I feel like this is our best bet, even though they had something in their hand they could chain, I think. Ad Libitum is going to get me... Play smart, play smart. Definitely using that effect. And I think we want Branded Fusion again. Oh, and I could use this guy on the field to make another Mirror Jade Dragon. So did that send anything? That sent a Shadow Fusion? No, he used Shadow Fusion. Oh, he banished that. He's making a Link monster. Gravity Controller. That's gonna cost you. That's gonna cost you 600. Gets a Shadow Fusion back to his hand. This card cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster in the main monster zone. At the start of the damage step, this card battles an opponent's monster in the zone. You can turn both to the deck. That doesn't seem too good. No problem. Shadow Fusion. Hand or field. If your opponent controls something. Oh, now things are just popping off. Okay, I do have a monster from the extra deck, so he could use cards from his extra deck. Discard special summon. You can target a face-up card, negate its effect. If this card sent to the graveyard, you can add a card from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. Okay, no problem. He's taking a lot of damage. I'm good with it. You already know. Okay, so now this is negated, I think. This is a nice 2-hour video, guys. Thanks. Squamats. Reshadow Wendy. You could draw 2 cards, discard 1. That's pretty good. There it is. Monster from your hand is fusion material. If you set a vote monster, so you could also banish monster from your field or either player's graveyard as fusion material. If this card's in your graveyard, you target a banished or Alistair the Evoker and do something. So many things are happening. Invoked Makaba. Okay, that's in the graveyard. He takes the Alistair. He adds it to his hand. Invocation goes to the deck. Hoping to just win next turn. That's the game plan. Alright, he ends. I could read some cards now. Alright, it's a nice little plussy card. Alright, now let's read. This is what's important. This face down is a Squamats. That's not a big deal because if he draws cards, hopefully he's dead by the end of that anyway. It's special summoned. He already did that. If this card's in the graveyard, you could add a card. Okay, that's pretty bad. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, you could send the same type of card from your hand to the graveyard, negate the activation. If you do, banish that card. That seems pretty good. And this says this card, an extra monster zone, can't be destroyed by battle with a monster in the main monster zone at the start of the damage step. If this card battles an opponent's monster in the extra monster zone, you could return them both. Alright. Let's start. Well, yeah, I kind of want him to use this card to get cards out of his hand. So I'm going to start with this and try to, unless he can just keep using cards endlessly, then it is what it is. But I'm pretty sure. Alright, so it doesn't negate that. Little Edge Imp Chain, great card. And now we can Allure. See if he negates this. Don't know where I'm going with any of this. Just playing it how it get played. Gotta get the 25 guy off the field. That's a pretty good card. Oh, we drew Super Poly? Oh, that's game. What's this? This is a light. This is a dark. This is a dark. What could we make? Well, Super Poly can't be negated by anything, so that's just like the best card. Same attribute, different types. I want to play Fusion. Alright, we don't need. We're just going to play this right off the bat. And we have Albaz to fuse with something else. I don't think we need this. This takes a Despia, a light, and a dark. There's my light. What's this? Oh, there's a dark. Oh, there's a 2000 that does nothing, and there's a Despia monster. Yeah, that seems pretty good. During the main phase, you could target rare. Oh, I can special summon it. And okay, that sounds about right. Let's get this one off the field. This one off the field. My own guy off the field. Yeah, so Super Poly is just the shit still in 2022. Insane card. Okay, that's pretty good. Now I could summon Albaz. Yeah, I'm gonna summon Albaz, and I'm gonna fuse with his fusion monster to make a Mirror Jade Dragon. I will discard. Well, Malabar's a free plus, right? So let's keep Malabar. Not like it really matters, I don't think. But he might have an out. What I could chain? Oh yeah, I get a monster from his graveyard. I forgot. That's insane. Boop. And I have to use his monsters, which is exactly what we want to do. That's great. Cat is loving it. No, I don't like to overextend. I just like to win the game, but I don't really know what my opponent's doing. See, they got stuff. They have stuff. What the hell does that do? If this card's in the graveyard, you can add a shadow card from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. Okay. I'm gonna allow that. I'm gonna allow that. You wanna allow that, baby? You're not even watching. I'm gonna Mirror Jade, and then I'm gonna attack for game. I'm gonna take his one of his monsters too. I'm gonna summon Owlbear. All right, what's that do? Okay, he gets it. He sends a card, and he's going to get a card now. But I think I want to wait until he targets, unless I can't. Oh, in face down defense mode. You got anything good in there that I want? That's a pretty good card. Yeah, I'll use this effect. Why not? I could take any of these. A card special summoning a target. This gets special summoned in face down defense mode, I think, right? Because of this Shadow Wendy thing. Face down defense? That's pretty bad. Negates monster effects. Is you can have any monster effects that are going to do anything? And I'll just discard Owlbear. I don't think so. Nah. Oh yeah, I'll take it. The more the merrier. Now he gets his Wendy. Look at this board. This is nuts. And this is off winging it right now, which is pretty insane. I don't think it really matters what he gets. There are just so many things that are going to happen. Mirror Jade could banish a card. That doesn't have an effect, but if it did, I could still use that effect when it's in the grave. This is going to deal damage when I run something over. Another Squamats. You could target monster on the field, destroy it, no problem. Nope, nothing with that yet. I summoned Albaz, so I think now we're going to use this effect. I will send Albion, just in case there are more pluses to be gained. I will get that off the field. And then we're going to go to battle. I forget, I don't think Squamata has too much, but I think we still want the damage, right? I don't think him drawing cards. Yeah, he's going to take damage, I think at 600 if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that's 2200? Oh, is that not Squamata? Oh, it's Shadow Beast, dude, I'm an idiot. I don't even remember what the cards are. Was that Squamata? That was Squamats. Gotcha. So he draws 2, discards 1. You could send a shadow monster from your deck to the graveyard. Is there anything he could do that just kill a bunch of cards? You could banish some cards. It doesn't seem too bad. I'm pretty sure he's just going to take 2,200 and then we're going to attack for game. Unless he banishes his own cards and they do some crazy stuff. Yeah, he didn't banish the Albion, so I don't think he has anything. And that's the game. That's how you play current Yu-Gi-Oh! That's really all you have to do. Not that complicated. Just, guess learn what your cards do. And then, figure it out as you go. That's all I could say. We're 1 win away from Platinum Tier 3. My goal is to get to Diamond. I will put a nice little Instagram post up if I hit Diamond. Yeah, I hope that wasn't super boring. I haven't made a video in a while. Like I said, I've been a little burnt out on Edison. But I've been posting a lot of pickups and stuff on my Instagram at the Poke Rapper. If you guys want to check out any of that stuff. Again, so much love and support, and I appreciate it all very much. Thank you guys so much again. We're over 500 subs now, which is crazy. And yeah, I've been just enjoying Yu-Gi-Oh! Like a fiend lately, and it's so nice to be able to share it with everyone and get some great feedback. So thanks so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too weird or different or hard to watch, but I like weird and different, and this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? This is where Yu-Gi-Oh! Is at right now, and I kept thinking to myself, why not? Why is everyone that used to play back in the day saying Yu-Gi-Oh! Is... I should have started the video with this. Everyone's saying Yu-Gi-Oh! Is too complicated, it sucks now, and yeah, that wasn't that great. That game, I drew the good cards, I played them, I figured it out as I went. Most good players would probably do that fairly quickly, but we still got there. But I opened the good cards, and I probably misplayed a bunch and got away with it. But the point I'm trying to make is, I think almost everyone is what I call a perfect learner. I think we're all capable of sitting down and trying to learn something that we care about and love, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of those things that I really have passion for, and I felt like I've been missing out. I'm like, why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is happening? There are thousands of players playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm not one of them. I'm playing older Yu-Gi-Oh! And I just feel like I'm making excuses. Oh, the card pool's too big. I don't feel like learning everything, or how am I going to catch up on... Oh, okay, that's gone. Sorry. How am I going to catch up on all these years of card pool expansion and all the different stuff? But like, pendulum summoning can't be that hard. Link summoning can't be that hard. Learn what your deck does. Learn what your opponent's cards do as you go. Figure it out. It can't be too difficult, and it's not that difficult. You just have to be willing to invest a little bit of time into it, and so far it's been fun. And thank you guys again for watching. The babbling ends now. I'll see you in the next one.